Hello everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to get this Carpinus raft, which I made almost a year ago, out of this pot. I planted it in this big pot to set the roots and give the tree a first structure. But if I'm going to leave it like this for the whole season, I will have serious cutting in on the roots and on the trees, so I must be able to remove the wire from the roots and from the trees when it's necessary. But of course I cannot do that with the wires that are underneath in the ground, so I will have to find a better solution to do that. So I came up with a little idea. So the idea is quite simple. I took a mica pot and well, I drilled it full of little holes, which is very easy. And I'm now going to take the tree out of the pot and get rid of all the wires on the roots and put the tree in this training pot. So this might be a little tricky because this is all quite heavy, but quite loose in the pot, so I have to take it gently. Which seems to work fine. So this is not going to be very spectacular, but I think it will be very important. See, in order to fix the trees well and give them some basic direction, I had to wire them on these future roots of the raft. So this is what I'm going to remove today. The reason I wired this in autumn was because I wanted the trees to stay like they are now, but I think they will stay in position for a few days, maybe a few weeks, but they are not yet fixed as they should be fixed. So anyway, by getting now the wire off, and putting it in a pot surrounded with soil and bims and lava rock, etc., it will keep these roots where they should be. And if it doesn't, the pot with all the holes will allow me to fix them from underneath if it is necessary. So I'm cutting here because I want the wire to stay as long as possible on the trunks, and when the trunks are swelling and starting to bite in the wire, I will have to remove that, of course, this year. So this is something I can do because it is not under the ground. So I'm just continuing to removing all these wires, and I'll see you back when this is done. So all the wires have been removed from the raft part, let's call it, and I'm going to give a little root pruning now, just to make sure that all the fine roots will start to split where they should split and not grow forever. Just cutting the tips, you know. Now the trees moved, of course, because, well, they were fixed in the ground, and that's what gave them their shape. But I'm quite happy because I can now enter this tree in this container, which is much more shallow than the previous one, and now I will have to fix the tree with some wires through the holes that I made. First of all, I'm going to look what could be a good front, and I think this will be the front, but it is still a bit early to tell. I can always make one tree grow much longer than the other. This is an early stage. So to fix the trees in the pot, I'm going to use a raffia, and I'm going to stick it through a hole like so, and then, well, I guess you see the points. Just anchor it. Probably the raffia will rot in the coming months, which is perfectly okay, because I don't need it to be around for years. Anyway, when it will rot, the trees will be fixed, so no harm done. That's why I need all these holes. Another one. And you see, this way I'm gonna have a nice flat raft. It's only going to take a few pieces of raffia, but it's so important to do it. So the whole idea of fixing this with raffia is just, well, a question of fixing it so that the trees won't move too much, but you can really reposition a few of the trees. This one was growing here. Now I really want it a little more to this side, so it is really possible to do structural work this way, and it is really something that should be done at the start of a raft project like this. Last year we grew some roots, and this year these roots must be positioned this way, we don't have to disturb the roots later on. So I think that's all I need for the time being. Let's cover it up with soil. So the tree is now almost potted up. It has some ground on it, but not enough. I have to fill some more. But as you can see, of course we lost the shape of the trees. For example, this one was standing here, and it will not stand there anymore because I removed the wire that was fixing it to the roots. So what I'm going to do now is to insert a piece of wire through this hole here and try to give the tree the form and the position that I needed it to have. And of course I'm using the wire I just removed. Now this is why you should always try to reuse your wire, because it is expensive. This way, by just fixing now the wire under the pot, giving it some leverage, I can now give the tree the form that I needed it to have. And if I see that it is cutting in, well, I just can remove the wire easily without doing too much damage to the bark, setting me back for several years. Another way to achieve the same goal is just using one long wire, which came from the roots, and wire these two together. So I'll have to find a hole where I can put them in. This one is quite close, so that's good. And then let's see, somewhere here might do. I think I'm under the trunk, so maybe here. Yeah, that's better. Oh, that's very good. So I'm going to push this wire through, like so, and flatten it. And maybe I can even anchor the other wire from this tree. And I can now probably get this tree back where I want it. It's a little more straight. And same here. Which is very good. And even give it a little twist. So I think these ones are quite where I want them. Maybe try to get this one a little more like so. So maybe one last wire. So this is how our 9-trunk raft is looking today. I will have to add a little more soil, which is something I can do off camera, of course. The only thing I want to say now is that it really is important to get your roots free in the growing season on a raft, because I had the problem with one of the first rafts I made. The wire cut into the flat part, and it took 4 to 5 years to get these scars out, and it is something you should really try to avoid. So I hope you liked it, and I hope that it inspired you to make a raft for yourself, because it is always a bonsai form that I appreciate a lot, because it's very, very dramatic and nice to look at. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and see you next time.